Hey guys, this is your Jomba. Welcome to the channel. For the past few months, ever since Erastus Ethekon was appointed as the chairman of IEBC, Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, we are regularly seeing some efforts or some attempts by this regime led by President Ruto to kind of destabilize the IEBC. And here on Mwabili Mogodi TV, we have been talking about this for months, ever since I started this channel in March of 2026. We have been countering anything that we feel is propaganda aimed at IEBC in an effort to kind of delegitimize the Kenyan electoral process. We have seen people like Oscar Sudi time and again tell us in public that hiyo kura ya 2027 isipoja tutajaza. Well, that is a kindergarten kind of way of saying that we are going to stuff ballot boxes. But we know here on Mwabili Mogodi TV that ballot stuffing is a thing of the past for as long as a few things remain constant with regards to the August 2027 election. And this is also one of the reasons why I regularly travel around the country wherever there are by-elections, and I try to document the process of how our voting is conducted, our electoral process is conducted, to especially show my viewers who are in doubt or who are skeptical that the IEBC is going to conduct a free, fair, credible and verifiable election, to show you that our electoral process is waterproof. Our voting process is waterproof. And this is the reason why I have been to Emurua Dikir. This is the reason why I have been to Olkalau. And even before I go deeper into discussing today's topic, I want to assure you, my viewer, who are in doubt that the IEBC, led by the chairperson Erastus Ethekon, is going to conduct a free and fair, credible and verifiable process in August 2027, I am here to tell you that the chairperson of the commission does not conduct elections on a solo basis. It is not a one-man show. There are over 44,000 polling stations. These polling stations are led by presiding officers who are residents of the county in which voting is taking place, or the constituency in which voting is taking place. It may not necessarily be someone from the exact same location where you are voting, but this person is one of you. The clerks are from your home village, okay? Your home village, wherever it is you vote, those clerks are residents there. So for President Ruto to rig this election across 44,000 polling stations, then he must deploy each and every presiding officer and each and every IEBC clerk from State House. And I am telling you, that is impossible. My viewer, to toe kabisa hiyo shauku ya kwamba it is impossible to rig our election here in Kenya. And the reason why it is impossible to rig the election is because our constitution in Article 138, the voter will vote at the polling station, okay? And after voting is concluded, the votes are going to be counted. The ballots are going to be counted. by the presiding officer together with IEBC clerks, agents of candidates, and observers, including the media. And this process, as you have seen in Emurua Dikir and as you have seen in Olkalau, I live streamed the process of closing the polling station. Okay, so all ballots, for example, I was in AC polling station. Okay, AC polling station had 475 registered voters. So that presiding officer is issued with 475 ballot papers. At the end of voting at 5 p.m., the presiding officer must account for each and every ballot that was issued to him. So he must have a total of 475 ballots, okay? And this includes the ones that have now become votes inside the box. So if 300 people have voted, then there must be a remaining of 175 ballot papers. They cannot be more than 475 total combined votes plus remaining ballots. Remaining ballots now will be each and every document. Okay, the ballot is the document. Once it is marked with the correct mark, it becomes a vote. Okay, so kuna tick, kuna X, kuna symbols. Okay, all these things are in the live stream. Yeah, AC polling station, vote counting. You can go have a look at it. It's 2 hours long. For those who doubt our electoral process, I am here to inform you that for as long as these procedures are followed, your vote is protected, your vote is safe. The only thing we need to do as viewers of Mwabili Mogodi TV, as Kenyans, is to encourage people who have not yet registered to vote to go out to register to vote, okay? And then once we are registered to vote, then on the 10th of August 2027, we come out in big numbers. We go to the polling centers, we vote, okay? And then we spend the day at the polling centers guarding our votes. And then we make sure that the votes are counted after the polling center is closed at 5 p.m. and those votes must be made to account. There is no way President Ruto has any ability to steal our votes or to steal the election of 2027. So why then do these politicians time and again come out and come up with things? For example, like just recently the other day, we saw Aaron Cheruyot and Stewart Madzayo. These are senators who are coming up with a law to ban live streaming inside polling stations, especially during vote counting. We have seen today's headline. Today is the 3rd of August. We've seen today's headline on the Standard talk about how President Ruto is planning to rig the 2027 election. We have seen people like Akina Oscar Sudi who are talking about kujaza kura. We have so the question, I know as my viewer, many of you are restless, you are disturbed. Like, so okay, Mwabili, you keep on telling us that it is impossible to steal the election, it is impossible to steal the votes. But then why are these people fighting so hard with story kama hii ya kusema we want to ban live streaming? Unaona story kama hiyo ya Oscar Sudi ya kusema kujaza kura. Sijui magazeti kila siku there's a story of how President Ruto is planning to rig the election. So just as I'm sure my viewers, we agree, President Ruto does not have any path towards re-election in August 2027, considering how the people of the Republic of Kenya are angry at him. the voter is very hostile, and the voter at this point in time is ready to vote for anyone as long as it is not President Ruto. It doesn't matter what the opposition does, whether it is, whatever it is they decide, okay, on who is going to be the flag bearer for 2027. The way things stand, it is the people of the Republic of Kenya who are going to dictate who is going to be the candidate for August 2027. It doesn't matter who it is. I don't have to mention any names here, but it is the people who will decide who is going to be their flag bearer. That is very clear from the get-go. Now, when we sit here in August 2026, we can see that this process of who is going to be the candidate for August 2027 presidential election flag bearer is going to be determined by the people. President Ruto knows this. Okay, President Ruto knows this, and this scares him a lot. That is why time and again, okay, when you look at mainstream media, when you look at The Nation, when you look at The Standard, when you look at, Citizen, every time they are trying to create an enemy on behalf of President Ruto. Okay, so, and that enemy is a prominent personality. Now that Baba Raila Amolo Odinga died, President Ruto does not have any prominent enemy. Okay, so now you will see there's a headline hapo, I'll put on your screen, CG Uhuru Kenyatta, I don't know, he's bringing together a coalition to... No. President Ruto, let me tell you here in front of viewers of Mabili Magodi TV, Uhuru Kenyatta is not in the calculation for August 2027. Kenyans and the Kenyan voter, the Kenyan decision maker, hamtambui Uhuru Kenyatta. Let me tell you that for free. Hamtambui. It is your enemy, President Ruto, is 55 million Kenyans. That is the enemy you face in August 2027. 55 million Kenyans, and specifically the over 20-something million voters who have registered to vote and who are very motivated to remove you out of office on 10th of August 2027. So what President Ruto is doing is basically trying to damage the reputation of IEBC through such things you see, such stories you see, mara sijui banning of live streaming, mara sijui Kipchumba Murkomen also said, ati sijui we are not going to allow Kenyans to defend polling centers and polling stations. You are not going to allow us who? How many police officers do you have in the Republic of Kenya? How many goons are you going to deploy around 44,000 polling stations around the country? Okay, in an effort to attempt to do what you tried to do in Electoral, which was stoke anarchy and violence using those police officers who are threatening the residents of Electoral into rioting. So the whole idea, what President Ruto's strategy is right now, is to discredit organizations like the IEBC. Okay, so once doubt is planted into a citizen's mind that my vote shall not count anyway, why should I bother going to the poll? President Ruto can only benefit from a low voter turnout in August 2027. Sawa, and that is how he expects that he will not necessarily win the first round outright, but he can drive the election to a runoff. Okay, yeah, because he cannot win outright in the first round. According to our constitution, it is 50% plus one vote. I will put the episode for 50% plus one vote on the description for those who do not know about how our electoral process is. So a candidate must garner 50% plus one vote of the popular vote plus 25% of the vote in 24 counties, more than half of the counties, in an effort for them to be declared president outright in the first round of election. If this is not possible, if both candidates do not secure at least 50% plus one of the vote the first round, then it becomes a runoff between the first place and the second place candidates. And President Ruto is banking on that one, and we still have no idea how he plans to even think of how to steal the runoff, sawa, but the idea of the rigging that he's planning is to discredit the IEBC and to make you as the voter, okay, not to turn out. It's called voter apathy. Okay, voter apathy is when you discourage voters to come out on election day to vote. So Mimi Mwabili Mogodi, I highly believe that the idea behind President Ruto's strategy is to basically discredit the IEBC, damage its reputation as an impartial conductor of our general election in 2027, so that the people do not come out to vote. But outright rigging, ballot stuffing, and all that nonsense that was being done, for as long as the result is declared at the polling station, for as long as we have Form 34A, I am here to guarantee you, my viewer, mtazamaji wangu wa Mwabili Mogodi TV, Rais Ruto hana uwezo wowote wa kurig uchaguzi wa Agosti mwaka 2027. Hana uwezo wowote. President Ruto does not have any capacity to steal your vote. He has no capacity to steal our votes. He does not have any capacity to steal the election of August 2027. I am guaranteeing you that. You can take that to the bank na upewe mkopo na benki yoyote Kenya. This is your Jomba Mwabili Mogodi. Thank you very much for your support, guys. Continue the conversation in the comments below. Share this content with your friends and family around the world. Like, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, most importantly, please subscribe. Asanteni sana.